Hi everyone, welcome to episode 15 of the Bargain Bandit. I'm Staci, and I know that I said I was going to do episode 15 last Thursday. I'm apparently terrible at schedules. It's kind of been nonstop for me since last week as far as acquiring product goes. I've been trying to really go hardcore on the acquiring product, and I haven't been actually that successful. The harder I try, the less well I do, I guess. But so the schedule, I also decided that instead of having like one whole video to go devoted to eBay, my eBay auctions, I'm going to kind of switch it up again. And each video I'm going to do a few eBay auctions, I'm going to do a few things that I've recently sold, I'm going to show you my top 3, and at the end of the video I'm also going to do a quick Q&A, picking a question somebody may have asked, because I've been getting a lot of questions lately. So I thought, hey, why not just add that into the video too and do a whole bunch of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of different segments to the episode now, and I hope that you like the new format. Please comment and let me know what you think. And without further ado, let's get right into showing you 5 of the cool items I have up on eBay right now. Mall Madness is a fun game for young girls. It is up on eBay for $17.99. It is a game that allows young girls to shop, and it's electronic and talking, and how fun is that? Tripoli is a game that combines Michigan Rummy, Hearts, and Poker all into one game. It comes with the mat, which is vintage. I also threw in a vintage deck of cards and some poker chips so that everybody can get started right away playing the game. It's up on eBay for $17.99. I have a 64-ounce jug with the cap from the Bighorn Brewing Company. That's kind of cool. It's up on eBay for $21.99. Combining fun with geography, I have a copy of Name That Country Geography game up on eBay for $14.99. Kind of a neat little game. Lost was a very popular show with a lot of people, and they created a board game based on it. And I have it up on eBay for $17.99 with free shipping, so that's a pretty good deal. Definitely let me know what you think about my different format changes and if there's things you would tweak or not, because I'm still trying to figure out what the best way to do a video for YouTube is. So moving on to things I have recently sold. The first thing is kind of a neat item, and you see them a lot at yard sales, and they're these vintage backgammon games, especially the ones in the leather pouches that are travel, that have the magnetic checkers. Those are pretty neat items, and they actually sell pretty easily. I sold one recently for $17. It had the zipper, it was a zippered one, and the magnetic dominoes, so that you could play it while traveling, and the dominoes won't be moving all over the board, like if you're on a bus or something, I guess. Some place where you maybe have some shaking. You can tell those kinds of things are in the vintage arena, because a lot of people needed to figure out ways to play things without a lot of movement going on, and nowadays we don't travel in a lot of ways where that happens. But I got $17 for it. I know you're probably sick to death about hearing about Scrabble stuff, but I sold some more Scrabble tiles. These were the burgundy ones. I had in a setup there, I only had 97, which is why I hadn't sold the Scrabble Deluxe game. Because those Scrabble Deluxe games can go for about $30 depending on condition, but the tiles themselves I was able to sell for $13.99. That was including shipping, so I didn't make as much money as $13.99. But shipping Scrabble tiles is pretty cheap, so because you can just throw them in a first class into the first class mail, so because they're going to come in under 13 ounces. So I did okay on those. Another item I sold with free shipping, and this one I only sold for $12.99 with free shipping, but again, it came under 13 ounces, and sometimes when I have something come in under 13 ounces, I just throw in the free shipping, because I know it's not going to cost a tremendous amount for me to ship, and people look at it and go, ooh, free shipping. People like free shipping. So it was Haiku. It was a game I got at that wonderful Honey Hole of an estate sale. So one more game gone. I only have, I think, about 10 left, so I'm working through them, but I've already way made my money on those games. So. Finally sold the My Little Pony Kennerlot plush pillow. it was kind of an interesting little item that I had here. I only picked it up for $2 and it still had the tags, was brand new and everything. I only sold it for $15. It was an offer and I accepted it. Um, I probably could have held out and done better around Christmas time because everybody's going to be wanting to buy things like that around Christmas time. But I'm trying to get to my 100 sales so that I can get all the discounts that you get for being a top rated seller. I think I'm about 92 sales in right now. So I'm just like, trying to sell things now, and I still made a good profit on it. So I mean, that's really the important thing. I could have gotten probably $5 to $10 more, but I just want to sell things right now. So I know it probably seems like I rushed through everything just now, and I did because I wanted to leave extra time for the Q&A, and I'm doing things a little different, but also because I wanted to leave extra time to talk about my acquisitions, my top 3, because I'm starting to look in kind of unusual places to come up with some merchandise so that I can keep selling. So first things first, this was acquired at a regular old yard sale. I probably overpaid for it, but it's one of my favorites, so I'm showing it anyway. I paid $5 for this. Do you know what it is? It is ceramic pottery from Mexico, and it's a chip and dip platter in the shape of a cowboy hat. How interesting is that? Isn't that kind of neat? It's it says Mexico on the bottom. Can't see that. So it's just, it's handmade pottery. Kind of interesting, chip and dip. I couldn't resist it. And if I can't sell it, I'm going to try and put it up on eBay for like $30. If I can't sell it, then I guess I have to keep it. Oh, darn. The next thing I'm going to talk about are a couple of things that I actually went down the clearance aisle at Walmart. And I saw these, and I did a quick peek on eBay to see what they were selling for. And they're selling for $15 to $20, so I thought I would try my hand and see if I could sell these. I don't have them up yet. We haven't processed any of the stuff I've recently acquired yet. Because I've just been in such an acquisition mode that I haven't been in the processing mode. But so it's these things here, these Lala Loopsies dresses. This one is Crumb Sugar Cookie Dress, and I only bought Sugar Cookie dress. I only bought one of each. This one is for there's sizes on it somewhere. Oh, fit sizes 2 to 4T, and then the other one is fit sizes 4 to 6X, and the other one is a mittens fluff and stuff dress. And La Loopsy is pretty popular right now with the young crowd. I understand. My kids are no longer this age, so I haven't actually witnessed them very much. But I understand that they're pretty popular. And so I thought, you know what, for $5 a piece, because it's an easy acquisition. I can go to Walmart and just buy these. I don't have to haggle. I don't have to, trek around the entire San Antonio to find them. I'm going to try and sell them. Even if they sell pretty quick and pretty easily, then I will go back to Walmart and grab the rest of them. So, that's kind of an interesting acquisition. And then the final thing that I acquired is something I got today. I went to a storage auction yesterday, and it was one of those weird silent auctions where you wrote down the price you were willing to pay, and the highest person who wrote down the highest price won. So I had learned nothing. So today I went to an auction. It was over by an Air Force base, so I wasn't expecting a lot of really high-end product. But if there's a lot of really high-end product, it's also going to be out of my price range. I'm not willing to spend thousands of dollars on a unit. But there were 14 units there, and I was just watching and seeing what was going on. And I wasn't really planning to buy today. And then Unit 13 comes up. And I look at it, and something about it speaks to me. I see it's got like some kind of audio receiver. It's got a leather jacket. It's got boots that are visible. It's got like this bin of stuff that I couldn't really tell what it was, but it looked interesting. And one of the items in that bin of stuff that was interesting, that turned out to have petroleum jelly, ramen soup, and a lot of icky things. It had some interesting little small items as well, and this is one of them. And this is a pocket knife that looks like a gun, and it says Patton's Army on it, and it's from Parker Cutlery, and it says it's made of surgical steel in Japan, and so it's kind of an interesting little pocket knife. So these run for about $30 on eBay. So that's half of what I paid for my whole unit. I paid $60 for the unit. I'm not really sure that storage auctions are going to be my thing yet, because my type of product tends to not have furniture in it. I'm not really good with clothes either. I did sell the Thomas the Train Engine jacket that I showed, but that it was more Thomas the Train than it was clothes for me. Um, I'm not real good with clothing in general, and there were a lot of clothes in the unit. There were boots. The boots are well worn, so they're really not eBay appropriate items. My mom's gonna have a yard sale, and I'm gonna take a lot of that stuff over there and try and get rid of it that way. I'm not a big yard sale person. I'm not a big Craigslist person. I'm not a big flea market person. None of those avenues have I tried yet. I pretty much strictly sell on eBay and in person to people who want to buy stuff from me in person. Um, but other than that, it was an interesting experience. I met some nice people. I networked a little bit, and then, there's a good networking opportunity with these things. A lot of times, people who sell primarily at flea markets or primarily at yard sales can't sell board games because those board games don't sell well there. So there's a possibility for me to perhaps purchase their board games from them in units they find if they have no real want for them. So I've been trying to network a little bit here and there. And, it was definitely an interesting experience. It was similar to what you see on TV. Everybody's like, oh, it's not like what you see on TV. It was actually pretty similar. It was exactly what I expected. People standing around. You look at the units, you mill by, and then they start taking bids. And and then somebody wins it. But there's no drama. Like nobody's like fighting with each other. Everybody's super friendly with each other. So that's different than what you see on TV. There's no drama. But it was interesting for sure. And so that is my top 3 favorite items. So I've left myself barely enough time to answer a question, and this question comes from Stephen Hickey, and he asks, what's the best place to sell vintage board games? I come across a lot, but they are not moving very well. And, vintage board games are difficult to sell in general. You have to be patient because you're waiting for one person who wants that game. Selling them at auction is a terrible idea. You want to do buy it nows with board games for the most part, um, because if you sell it at auction, you have one person who maybe wants it. You'll be lucky to get 2, and you're not going to get more than that. And those 2 may not want it that bad. So with vintage board games, it really is important that you do buy it nows with board games in general. Another place that I found to sell board games is a place called Board Game Geek, boardgamegeek.com. And you can sell board games there as well. I've sold 2 through Board Game Geek, so it's a place that actually does sell things. It's not. I don't put everything up there. Like my Apples to Apples isn't going to sell on Board Game Geek. My Connect 4 isn't going to sell on Board Game Geek. But other things sell just fine. So, um, uh, another place to sell your vintage board games is get to know your board gaming community in your local area. I'm a member of a board game group, and every once in a while, I'll come across a game that somebody wants that I know that they want because I've gotten to know them, and I'll be able to sell it to them. So get to know your local board gaming community because they're all in the market for something. And I hope that helps answer your question about what to do with vintage board games. That's the end of the Bargain Bandit for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like my video. Please subscribe. I have 31 subscribers. I crossed that 30 mark, so thank you to all my subscribers for subscribing. And please leave me comments and questions. As you can see, I will do like a little Q&A at the end and answer questions. So ask anything you want. And even if I don't know the answer, I'll be like, hey, I don't know the answer, but maybe somebody else does, or let me research it. I'm good at research. That's what makes me good at being able to sell stuff. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time, whenever that may be.